Mostly 9 out of 10 car owners don't even know these car tricks actually work in their cars. But here's the shocking part. Only one of them literally makes your car look brand new, saving you thousands in cleaning bills. So before you waste one more dollar at detailing, here are 15 car tricks that will make your car 10 times shinier and more clean. These hacks save you lots of money. Let's dive right in. Hack number 15. The bald foil rust remover. Small rust spots have started bubbling up on your bumper, door edge, or trim, and the body shop wants $200 to $400 to sand it down and repaint the area properly. But here's what most drivers never think to try. Take a sheet of regular kitchen aluminum foil, scrunch it into a tight ball, and dip it in water. Scrub the bald foil directly over the rust spot using firm, small circles. Foil is softer than the metal panel underneath it, so it lifts the rust away without gouging or scratching the paint around it. Rinse and dry the area once the rust is gone. A roll of foil costs $2 and treats every rust spot on your entire car. And here's the kicker. This same ball of foil works on chrome trim and wheel rims that have started to oxidize, so you're not limited to just body panels. What they don't tell you is that catching rust at this bubbling stage is the only reason this trick works at all. Once it eats through to bare metal, no amount of scrubbing fixes it, so acting early is what actually saves you the repaint bill. Once the spot is clean and dry, a thin dab of clear nail polish or touch-up paint over the exposed metal keeps the rust from creeping right back in a few weeks later. This next one will 100% shock you. Hack number 14, WD-40 for stubborn white water spots. Hard water spots have baked onto your hood and windows, leaving behind a chalky white film that survives every trip through the car wash. A full glass decontamination service costs $50 to $100. Here's the trick instead. Spray a light coat of WD-40 directly onto the spotted glass or paint and let it sit for about 2 minutes. Wipe it away with a clean microfiber cloth using firm pressure. WD-40 breaks the bond between the mineral deposits and the surface underneath, lifting the spots free instead of just smearing them around like regular glass cleaner does. Follow up with a normal glass cleaner to remove any oily residue. A can of WD-40 costs $6 and treats every water-spotted surface on your car repeatedly. And here's the kicker. This works on chrome and painted surfaces just as well as glass, so you can use the same can for spots on your bumper trim or mirror housings. What they don't tell you is that water spots left untreated for months can actually etch into glass permanently. So the earlier you catch them with this trick, the better your results will be. Parking in the shade or under cover whenever possible also slows down how fast new spots bake onto the glass in the first place. Now for a trick that will completely change your game when it comes to your interior. Hack number 13. Vaseline for a rich interior shine. Your dashboard, door panels and center console have gone dull, faded and grey looking, no matter how many wipe downs you give them. Interior detailing sprays at the store cost $15 to $25 and usually leave a greasy residue that attracts more dust within days. Here's the trick instead. Scoop a small amount of petroleum jelly onto a microfiber cloth and spread it thinly across your dashboard and interior plastic trim. Then buff off any excess with a dry cloth. The jelly fills in fine surface scratches and restores a deep, rich color to faded plastic without leaving the greasy shine that cheap sprays do. A jar costs $3 and refreshes your entire interior multiple times over. And here's the kicker. Applying only a thin layer and buffing thoroughly is what keeps this from turning into a slippery, glare-heavy dashboard. So less is genuinely more here. What they don't tell you is that sun exposure is what dries out interior plastic in the first place. So this trick works best as a monthly habit, rather than a one-time fix if your car sits outside. A cracked windshield sunshade used during the day cuts down on how quickly that dryness comes back between treatments. This next one will save you money for years and will definitely surprise you. Hack number 12. Toothpaste for bright, clean tires. Your tires look faded, chalky, and grey no matter how much you hose them down, and the detailer wants $20 to $40 just to add tire dressing onto your wash. Here's how you can fix it with toothpaste. Squeeze a generous amount of white toothpaste onto a stiff brush and scrub it directly into your clean, dry tire sidewalls, focusing on any lettering or raised lettering. The mild abrasives in toothpaste cut through the oxidized rubber layer that's causing the grey, chalky look, revealing the deep black rubber underneath. Rinse thoroughly with a hose until all the paste is gone. A tube costs $2 and treats every tire on your car repeatedly. And here's the kicker. This same toothpaste trick brightens raised white lettering on tires that's gone yellow with age, something dedicated tire cleaners rarely manage. What they don't tell you is that tire fading is actually oxidized rubber, not just dirt, which is exactly why plain soap and water never seem to fix it, no matter how hard you scrub. Doing this once a month keeps that oxidized layer from building back up thick enough to need this level of scrubbing again. Now, this next one uses something you'd never expect, and it solves a problem no glass cleaner has ever actually fixed for good. Hack number 11, coffee filters for streak-free mirrors. Your side mirrors and rear view mirror are covered in streaks every time you clean them, no matter which glass cleaner or paper towel you reach for. Paper towels leave behind lint and fibers that actually make the streaking worse. Here's the trick instead. Spray your regular glass cleaner directly onto your mirrors, then wipe and buff with a plain coffee filter instead of a paper towel or cloth. Coffee filters are made from a lint-free paper, specifically designed to let liquid through without shedding fibers, which means they buff glass to a completely streak-free finish. A pack of coffee filters costs $2 and can be reused several times before wearing out. And here's the kicker. This same trick works on your phone screen and eyeglasses. Anywhere lint from paper towels usually ruins the finish. What they don't tell you is that most mirror streaking isn't actually about the cleaner you're using at all. It's about the lint your wiping material leaves behind, which is why switching that one thing solves a problem years of different cleaners couldn't. Keep a small stack of filters in your glove box, so you're never stuck reaching for a paper towel out of habit again. This one will shock you. Hack number 10, dish soap for deep clean car seats. Your fabric car seats are stained, dingy, and hold on to smells no matter how many times you vacuum them. A professional seat shampoo service runs $80 to $150. And detailers make it sound like your seats need special upholstery chemicals to actually get clean. But here's what most drivers miss. Mix a few drops of regular dish soap with warm water until it turns foamy. Then work the suds directly into the fabric with a soft brush in small circular sections. Dish soap is formulated to break down oils and grease, which is exactly what's trapped in your seat fibers from skin contact and everyday use. Wipe away the foam with a damp cloth and let the seats air dry with the windows cracked. A bottle of dish soap costs $3 and can clean every seat in your car dozens of times over. And here's the kicker. Working in small sections and wringing your brush out often keeps the fabric from getting oversaturated, which is the actual reason DIY seat cleaning usually backfires and leaves a water ring. What they don't tell you is that most seat shampoo services are using a similar degreasing surfactant in a fancier bottle, just marked up because it's labeled automotive. A small fan pointed at the seats afterward speeds up drying time and helps you avoid that lingering damp smell that comes from letting fabric air dry too slowly. But wait, if that seat trick just saved you a detailing bill, this next one is about to make your jaw drop. Hack number 9, lint roller dust and hair trick. Your dashboard, seats, and floor mats are constantly covered in dust and pet hair, and it reappears within a day even after a full vacuum session. A detailer charges $30 to $50 just for a hair and dust removal add-on. Here's the trick instead. Grab a regular sticky lint roller from your laundry room and roll it directly across your seats, floor mats, headliner, and dashboard edges. The adhesive sheets grab loose hair and fine dust that your vacuum's suction physically can't pull out of fabric weave. Tear off each sheet once it's full and keep rolling with a fresh one. A roller costs $4 and covers your entire interior multiple times before you run out of sheets. And here's the kicker. This works especially well on your headliner, a spot most people are afraid to vacuum because of the fabric, but a lint roller handles it safely. What they don't tell you is that pet hair actually weaves itself into fabric fibers at an angle your vacuum can't reach, which is exactly why the hair keeps coming back no matter how many times you vacuum the same spot. Keeping one roller permanently in your glove box means you can knock this out in under 2 minutes before every single drive. Before we get to the really mind-blowing hacks, do me a favor, hit that like button. We spend hours researching these tricks. That will make your car look brand new, and it genuinely helps us make more content like this. Done. Awesome. Now this next one will completely change how you handle your headlights. Hack number 8. Wet sanding grits for headlight restore. Your headlights have gone deeply yellowed and cloudy, and the quick fixes like toothpaste or foil only get you part way there because the oxidation has gone too deep. A shop charges $80 to $150 for a full restoration. Here's the trick that actually matches what shops do. Pick up a set of wet sanding sandpaper in a range of grits, starting around $800 and working up to $3,000, all sold cheaply at any auto parts store. Wet the paper and the headlight lens, then sand in one direction only, starting with the coarsest grit and working progressively finer, rinsing between each grit change. Finish with a plastic polish and a microfiber cloth for a clear, glass-like shine. A full grit set costs about $10 and restores every headlight you'll ever own. And here's the kicker. Sanding in one consistent direction rather than circles is what prevents the swirl marks that ruin most DIY headlight jobs. What they don't tell you is that this is the exact multi-step process professional restoration kits charge $80 for, just repackaged with a brand name on the box. Taping off the surrounding paint and trim before you start keeps stray sandpaper marks from ever touching anything outside the lens itself. Doing this once a year keeps your lenses clear long term, instead of watching the cloudiness creep back within a matter of months. But we are just getting warmed up. This next one will completely change how you think about that musty smell. Hack number 7, baking soda for car mold. You've noticed a musty smell in your car, or worse, actual dark spots forming on your headliner or floor mats after a spill or a leak. A professional mold remediation detail can cost $100 to $200. Here's the trick instead. Make a thick paste of baking soda and a small amount of water and apply it directly onto the moldy spot, letting it sit for a full hour before scrubbing gently with a soft brush. Baking soda is naturally alkaline, which disrupts mold spores and neutralizes the odor-causing compounds they produce, rather than just masking the smell. Vacuum up the dried residue once it's fully dry. A box costs $1 and treats mold spots repeatedly. And here's the kicker. Leaving an open box of baking soda in your car afterward continues absorbing moisture and odor long after the initial treatment. What they don't tell you is that mold in a car almost always means there's an active leak somewhere letting moisture in, so treating the mold without finding that leak just means it comes back within weeks. Checking your door seals and sunroof drains for blockages right after this treatment is what actually keeps the mold from returning at all. Wearing a mask while scrubbing is a smart precaution too, since disturbing mold spores can irritate your lungs if you're sensitive to them. This next one will shock you a lot. Hack number 6, steam cleaning your interior surfaces. Your seats, carpets, and door panels have ground-in grime that no spray cleaner or brush has ever been able to fully lift out. A full interior steam detail from a shop runs $150 to $250. Here's the trick instead. Rent or buy a basic handheld steam cleaner, which runs about $30 to $50, and pass the steam nozzle slowly over your seats, carpets, and floor mats, letting the heat loosen embedded dirt before wiping it away with a microfiber cloth. The high heat breaks down oils and grime at a level plain water or spray cleaners can't reach, without soaking the fabric the way a shampoo treatment does. A single machine pays for itself after one use compared to a shop visit. And here's the kicker. Steam also kills odor-causing bacteria on contact, which is why your car smells noticeably fresher afterward, not just cleaner looking. What they don't tell you is that steam cleaning uses far less moisture than a wet shampoo, which means your interior actually dries in hours instead of days. Cracking the windows for an hour after each session helps push out the remaining humidity even faster. Keeping the nozzle moving at all times, rather than holding it in one spot, prevents any risk of overwetting a single patch of fabric. Now, this next hack brings faded exterior trim back to life, and a trick that feels like cheating. Hack number 5, coconut oil for faded exterior trim. Your black plastic trim around the windows, mirrors, and bumpers has faded to a chalky grey, making your whole car look older than it actually is. Trim restoration products at the auto parts store cost $15 to $20 and often fade again within weeks. Here's the trick instead. Get coconut oil, best if 100% pure, then get a microfiber cloth, then rub it directly into the faded plastic trim with a soft cloth, letting it absorb for a few minutes before buffing off the excess. The oil penetrates the porous, sun-damaged plastic and restores a deep black color from within, rather than just sitting on the surface like a spray-on dressing. A jar costs $6 and treats all the trim on your car repeatedly. And here's the kicker. Coconut oil holds up noticeably longer in the rain than typical trim sprays because it actually soaks into the plastic instead of coating it. What they don't tell you is that trim fading is UV damage to the plastic itself, which means the color only comes back when something actually absorbs into the material, not just sits on top of it. Reapplying every 4 to 6 weeks keeps that deep black look consistent instead of watching it slowly fade back to grey. Wiping off any excess before parking in direct sun also prevents the oil from getting tacky and attracting extra dust. You can also use a brush with the coconut oil to evenly restore the faded trim. Now for a genius car hack to make your AC blow colder air. This one will surprise you. Hack number 4. Rinsing your AC condenser with water. Your air conditioning is blowing warm or barely cool air, and a shop quotes you $100 to $200 just to run diagnostics before even touching the actual problem. Here's what most drivers never check first. Pop your hood and locate the AC condenser, the thin metal fin unit mounted at the very front of your car, just behind the grille. Using a garden hose on a gentle spray setting, rinse directly through the fins from the front to push out any built-up dirt, leaves, and bugs that are blocking airflow. Clogged fins prevent the condenser from releasing heat properly, which is one of the most common reasons AC output feels weak. Let it air dry for 20 minutes before starting your car. This costs nothing but a few minutes with your hose. And here's the kicker. Doing this twice a year, once before summer and once after, prevents the gradual airflow loss that eventually leads to actual compressor strain. What they don't tell you is that a genuinely broken AC system usually involves a refrigerant leak or compressor issue. So ruling out a simply clogged condenser first can save you an expensive diagnostic appointment for a problem that a hose already fixed. Avoid using a high-pressure nozzle setting, since bent condenser fins can restrict airflow just as badly as the dirt you're trying to remove. Rinsing from the engine side out toward the grille, opposite the direction air normally flows, helps push trapped debris back out the way it came in. Now let's clean something 99% of drivers never cleans. Hack number 3. Toothpaste for grippy car pedals. Your brake and gas pedals have gone smooth and slippery from months of shoe contact, and on a rainy day, your foot can actually slide off mid-drive. A mechanic will sell you rubber pedal cover replacements for $30 to $60. Here's the trick instead. Squeeze a small amount of white toothpaste onto a damp cloth and scrub it directly into the textured rubber grip on your pedals, working it into every groove. Rinse with a clean damp cloth and let dry completely before driving. The mild abrasives strip away the built-up layer of shoe residue and oil that's been filling in your pedal's grip texture, restoring the traction that was there when the car was new. A tube costs $2 and treats every pedal in your car repeatedly. And here's the kicker. Letting the pedals dry completely before driving is essential, since toothpaste residue can actually make things temporarily slicker while still wet. What they don't tell you is that pedal slipperiness is rarely about worn-out rubber. It's just built-up grime sitting in the texture, which is exactly why replacement pedal covers often feel just as slick again within a few months. Doing this every few months as part of a normal interior wipe-down keeps that grip from ever building back up to a dangerous level. Keeping a small towel in your car for wet shoes on rainy days also slows down how quickly that grime builds back up between cleanings. But let's talk about winter mornings and a trick that will blow your mind. Hack number 2, rice-filled socks for moisture control. Your windows fog up from the inside every single morning, and there's a musty smell that never fully goes away no matter how long you run the defroster. Most drivers assume this means an AC problem or an actual leak somewhere. Here's the trick instead. Fill a clean sock about halfway with uncooked rice and tie off the open end. Then tuck it under your seat or in your cup holder overnight. Rice naturally pulls moisture out of the surrounding air, the same way those little silica packets work in a shoebox, which dries out the trapped humidity causing your fog and odor. When the rice feels noticeably damp after a few weeks, empty it onto a tray, microwave it dry, and refill the sock for reuse. A bag of rice costs $3 and keeps your car dry for an entire season. And here's the kicker. Placing a second sock specifically near your floor mats targets the moisture that tends to collect lowest in the cabin, where most odor problems actually start. What they don't tell you is that persistent interior fog is almost always trapped humidity rather than a mechanical issue. So ruling this out first can save you an unnecessary trip to the shop. Cracking a window an inch overnight on dry evenings gives that trapped humidity somewhere to escape before it ever gets the chance to settle in. Using a thicker wool sock instead of a thin one holds more rice at once and stretches out how long each refill lasts. Now for the number 1 hack you have been waiting for. This will make your car paint look brand new again. Hack number 1, white vinegar for faded car paint. Your paint has gone chalky and dull in patches, especially on the roof and hood where the sun hits hardest, and a full paint correction service runs $200 to $500. Here's what almost nobody in your pantry realizes can help. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle. Spray it directly on your car paint and use a microfiber cloth and wipe it over the faded, chalky sections of your paint using light pressure. The mild acid in the vinegar breaks down the thin, oxidized layer sitting on top of your clear coat, the actual cause of that chalky, dull look, revealing the healthier paint underneath. Follow immediately with a coat of wax to seal and protect the freshly exposed surface. A bottle costs $2 and can treat every faded panel on your car. And here's the kicker. Applying wax right after this step is what locks in the results, since bare paint left unprotected will start oxidizing again within weeks. What they don't tell you is that chalky faded paint isn't dead paint. It's just oxidation sitting on the surface, which is exactly why a full repaint is rarely the only option, even when a shop makes it sound that way. Parking in a garage or under a carport whenever you can is what actually slows down how fast that oxidation builds back up in the first place. Testing this on a small hidden panel first is always a smart move, since older or already thin clear coats can react a little differently than fresh paint. If any one of these 15 tricks just saved you a shop bill or made you realize you can make your car look brand new again yourself, hit that like button and smash subscribe. Your wallet is going to thank you for sticking around. And if you're wondering what car tricks they've never told you, click this next video. You will not regret it. These tips and tricks save you $3,000 in car repairs.